the way I like to start any automation, the way I like to handle any automation, especially with a new API that I've never used before. In this case, this is new to them with Streamline Connector. I like to do a GET request for the simplest thing possible. So if we're talking about, yeah, see, I need to, I have to search in this one and not in that one. Okay, so yeah, sorry. If let's say we're just doing any kind of GET request, it's 1245. I would just go into N8N and I would take a manual trigger, and let's say it's Google Drive. I probably don't have those creds set up. Google Sheets. I'm not going to say, give me a sheet. A better one would probably be Google Docs. Okay. Get a document. Get a document. What does this require? A doc ID. I don't have a doc ID. I can't get anything with a doc ID or obtain a doc ID. So the first thing is not going to be like a specific call. It's going to be a get all call. So you can have get all orders, get all inventory, get all anything. And what that does is it just gets you rolling, gets the ball rolling. It cements in your brain that you can click a button and you can get these results. Yeah. And so in our case, I would be using our templates here. So what I'm going to do is we'll go here. This is our Shopify home. We go to Streamline. We click on Get Orders. And then we click on Download Template. I'm probably moving too fast, actually, because I'm assuming that you're familiar with the project. And now we have our template here, and the next step is just going to be to create a workflow and import from file, and then use our template. And it fills out the name for you, fills everything out, even the shop ID. So you don't even need to do any configuration. We've set it up so that you can download that template, hit execute workflow, see all the orders you have in your Shopify store.
I was going to ask, what's the orders? What's the time frame for the orders? Get all orders. Did the last 30? I think it's the last 30 days.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, I think we did it based on. I think it's last 30 days. I'll double check.
As an example of how I've done that really quick, if we go here to our other template with, this would be, I think that's daily. Email daily order report. Okay, so as an example here, I'm going to run this and, oh, well, hey, it helps if you put your shop ID. So maybe I should follow the, let me do this. We're going to get, yeah, just grab the shop ID because I realize we don't have a link for this in here that goes directly to this. Okay. So this one has all these orders, right? And so here's how we do this. We filter it. And currently it doesn't come through because this is test data. This is like old stuff. So a little N8N trick is pinning data. So when I come in here, I can just lie to the workflow down the line. We'll find the date of this order. We'll change it to yesterday, which would be, just put it to this morning, 11/21, right? 2025, 11/21. And, well, 20, because that might not be here. 13. We don't want it to throw an error for an order being in the future.
Yeah.
So we'll just copy this. This is how I did it during testing, and we just come in here and replace it. This JSON stuff looks scary at first, but it's really just a repeating pattern. It's all the same thing. You just find the date, you come through, and I'm going to change 3. So in our fake simulation here, this will run live. This will pull all of the orders, except, and in fact, we can pin this. It's being split out here. And then everything down the line will reference this one, unless it's a static reference to something earlier in the flow, but we're not getting into that right now. So these should be within the last 24 hours. Did I not? 11. Oh, yeah. I think I did that wrong. 11/21. Should we do it like that? Yeah, there we go. Yep, should have went with my gut. So we'll just make it 2. Okay, we're going to pretend right now that we have our orders, right? So we split out these orders. I had to add my email here, which is what it says there, but I guess I could put it there as well. And I should have put it to. All right. We got all of our orders. Normally this would have our real orders. And then we filter in the workflow for the last 24 hours. Every order comes with an order date, and within N8N, you just do this date field. So you use the bolded one ideally. See, a date and time is a little more bold. And then you say is after 24 hours. So you could customize that. It can be, you can get like every 3 days, you can get weekly, monthly, however often you want to get your order reports, then you could do that. You can also add time periods, like brackets. So if you wanted to do like last year, this time, this week, last year, you can do the math for that inside of the N8N flow.
Hi guys.
Hey there.
I'm just double checking to see if you guys can chat. But if you can't, feel free to let us know where you guys are in the chat. Love to see where in the world you are. So we've got Tavora Brands. Thanks for joining. And Guillaume.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. How are you?
Hey, Guillaume. Great, can hear you.
Yeah.
So where are you from, Guillaume?
I come from Quebec, Canada.
Nice.
So.
And
I'm
are you?
selling.
Yeah, Thomas.
I'm in IT for maybe since 2001, and I'm still selling on a lithium battery for e-bike on Shopify for maybe 1 year. So and we are still developing AI application.
Yeah.
I just want to understand what you do with the N8N and
sure.
Shopify. Yep.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to talk to you about that.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a really cool use case.
How you doing?
Hey, Ala.
Hey, Ala.
Hey, hello. How are you?
Good.
I'm doing great. How are you?
We'll kick off. We'll kick off in a few minutes. Just waiting for some people to join.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Hey, Olivia.
Hey there.
Hello.
Hey. Oh, Olivier from Soft Limit.
Yeah.
Fellow Shopify agency. Thanks for joining.
Hey, yeah. Excited
Awesome.
to see what you guys got.
You'll be impressed. All right. Ala, where are you from?
Oh, Toronto, Canada.
Oh, nice. Another Canadian. What do you do, Ala? Are you from an agency or brand?
So I develop my own softwares and stuff. Like I have my own marketplace, let's say. I've used N8 for so many things. And I didn't know about it before, but when I saw this topic, it's like, it's good to learn what else people do. So sorry if I'm this kind of a person on this call.
No. We love to have fellow experts in here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Definitely. Everybody's welcome.
Yeah. And you're always learning. I'm always learning. And you can never learn it all at once, and you're always going to pick up new tips and tricks.
Yeah,
and it's cool to see how others use it.
For my own app on the App Store. But I
nice. You use it like as the back end for a live app?
For so many automation stuff. Yeah. I own a marketplace on the App Store.
It's great, dude.
But yeah.
Thanks for joining. Hey, Lauren.
Hello.
Hey, Lauren.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Lauren.
Yeah, okay. Hi.
I know. I invited her to this. So.
Yes.
Oh, you're from the same team. Awesome. Thanks for coming.
Been telling Lauren so much about NNA, and
I was just in sorry, I was just going to say it was just in a 2-hour AI call, so my head's a little all over the place, but I've learned a lot, so I'm kind of.
Oh man, yeah. Just sit back and let us drive. It's going to be easy stuff.
Yeah.
Workflows. We're dragging and dropping. We're clicking buttons and downloading. It's super easy.
Nice. Okay, cool.
All right. We'll kick off in a few minutes. 1 second. Let's kick off then. My name is Richard Emmanuel. I'm the founder of Streamline Connector, as well as an agency called Parkville Commerce based in New York. About 2 years ago, I absolutely fell in love with, like most people probably here, fell in love with ChatGPT and the power of AI. And I made it a personal mission to understand how can we help as many brands adopt AI and add it into their systems. I came across N8N last year, and I thought it was such an awesome platform and a great tool brands can use to really automate a bunch of processes within their business. That takes up a lot of time. That works as a bottleneck. So we created Streamline Connector, and what it does, it takes all the data from Shopify and pushes it into into N8N. So orders, products. We also do pagination. We also do inventory updates as well. So we're a two-way sync, and it's a great, easy way to get up and running on N8N within about 60 seconds. If you don't use Streamline Connector, you'd have to go create a private app. It's an 8-stage process, and Shopify is known for updating their APIs probably 4 times a year, which will essentially break any connections you have. So we take care of all of that. And yeah, it's going great so far. We've got about 400 users on the platform. And we just want to spread the word about the great tool of N8 and what brands should be doing for automations. All right, Kris, you want to
You're
talk about?
kind of like a managed NNA connector, I would say, like a managed service.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
Yeah.
even bigger than that, really. It's sort of because you can call it from their HTTP endpoints, and so you don't need. We are working on releasing an N8N node. It's in verification right now with the team, and so but you don't need that node. You can just call it from an HTTP node within N8N or from it's as a regular API endpoint. So really what it boils down to is enabling very quick access to your Shopify store. And without having to go through the hoops of creating an app, and then also with the added bonus of us keeping it up to date. And also we're always cooking up new things on the behind the scenes, working on new features and taking user feedback and stuff too. So yeah, it's basically because I personally, before I found Streamline Connector, when I was creating solutions for Shopify, it was a massive pain to have to consult with the client and get access to their store, have them create an app, and then whenever Shopify lets to send out those updates, then your stuff just breaks.
It breaks, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, going off of that, great question. My name's Kris, and I am an N8N connoisseur. I'm an N8N lover. I'm a workflow guy, and so when I met Rich, he was kind of spinning this up and had a few hundred less users, and everything was a little smaller, but now we're growing so much and helping out with everything in N8N is what we do, is what I'm in charge of here. So we have to that end, we have made it really easy for you to get started, even easier than just getting a subscription, which we have a 15-day free trial that you can grab, and even easier than just getting a subscription and getting started and copying these inputs that we had there. You can actually click a single button and download a template and get access to your Shopify store right away. So let me share my screen and I'll start the demo. Okay. So here we are in a Shopify store. This is our demo store. And so we have our Streamline unofficial N8N tool. And here's your dashboard. All of this is, of course, subject to change. It's live and running. And today we're going to be talking about N8N, but we also do integrate with BotPress and VoiceFlow and Zapier too. So today, the easiest thing, as you know, if you're an automation person or an API person, the easiest thing to do is to make a GET request and get your information without specifying what information you want, or maybe just a category. So you have your shop ID here. This is basically your API key, and yes, we're putting our API key out to you guys. It's a testing key, so please don't hit it. You can get your own with a trial. It'll be censored on the video though. So okay, this is kind of like, it's a lot of information, and it does give you the information on how you can hit these endpoints. But what we've done here, we have a video if you want to watch to just show you how you can do this process. It's an 18-second video. You create a new workflow on your N8N. So we'll go ahead and do that step. So we're just going to create a brand new workflow. I'm not going to do anything else. Then I'm going to click this button to download the template. And that's actually going to hit an innate-in automation on the back end that customizes the template. It automatically applies your shop ID, so you don't have to do any copy and paste, filling out any fields or anything like that. Now you'll go here and go to your Canvas page, and you'll click import from file. You'll find the file you just downloaded, and there you are. So these are also kind of subject to change. They grow and change, and we'll be adding more templates. And we don't have it set up yet, but I'm sure we'll have a community sometime soon where I know we do have a Streamline community, a Streamline Connector. What is it? Discord?
Yeah.
Right. I was trying to think if it was a Slack. So we have a Discord, and we can post our new templates in the Discord if you guys want to join that. We can get you the link and stuff when we send you the replay. But yeah, so we go ahead and downloaded this, and it filled out the name for us and everything. So I hit save, and if we double click into our HTTP node here, it auto-filled our shop ID. So if I wasn't running my mouth, it would have just went da-da-da-da-da. We click execute workflow, and bam, we have every one of our orders from, I believe it defaults to the last 30 days. So right off of that, we can go and take actions moving forward. So next question might be business use case. Get all orders. You can see your orders in Shopify. So like, why do we want them here? Well, we want to put them other places. Like Shopify is great, and we can all see our dashboards and stuff. But what if your team wants a CSV and you don't want to go download it, and you don't want to set it up? Or what if you have a contractor who needs to see some information? There's endless use cases where you might want to get your orders. And the cool thing with the innate-in tie-in is that we don't need to worry about filtering on our API call. It's a very simple API call. We just filter on the back end, and we can filter endlessly with innate-in. So now that I've showed this really quick, does anybody have any questions or comments before we move into the next step, which is going to be how to get this into Google Sheets?
So just to go over this as a business use case, taking one step back, is we speak to clients all the time about, hey, who are either small one-man teams or a team of 5 doing 8 figures, and what they typically see is like the same pain points when operating their business. So whether they're checking emails from suppliers, checking orders, trying to understand when they should reorder, then doing purchase orders, what you can actually do with N8N is automate the entire business. And we're seeing that a lot when we speak to a lot of the brands we're chatting with. It's just like, we have all these problems. These are the bottlenecks. We need to run way more efficiently. So what we're kind of showing you right now is like the foundation layer of like, hey, we can pull your orders into N8N. And then you can then put those orders into like Slack, into Gmail. You can even do inventory forecasts built into N8N as well, which will understand, hey, if we see orders that are happening, we can track sales. If sales are happening at this particular volume, then we should probably raise a purchase order with a supplier. So this is a foundation layer of what Kris is showing you. Like, there's so much you can do with just the orders, whether it's like putting it into ShipStation, whether it's splitting orders based on inventory locations. This is just like the foundation layer. Then it's wherever your imagination can take you, or whatever pain points you've got, you can build upon these.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, one thing that just popped into my head is if you wanted to run this depending on how quickly, you were receiving orders, but, if you receive one order every hour, if you were to run this every hour just to capture that new order, and then you can send out a customized email to that person based on what their order was doing. You could also add an AI node inside of N8N, pass it into an LLM, and just say, come up with a customized email for this person, or use what they've ordered and come up with another suggestion, and then email them with a suggested product, which we also have AI product suggestions as an endpoint in the app. So and that's natively built in, and you can tie it into your AI agents inside of N8N, but that's kind of another video down the line. So yeah, so I guess moving forward off of this is emailing a daily order report. Like, how would we do that? And so I've kind of pre-built this for you. Took one out of the oven. We baked it before the show. And so, as I said before with filtering, we are filtering here in the workflow. And so let's say instead of checking your orders, or you have an offshore VA or something who needs to do something with orders every day, you can just receive an email, a curated email every day of those orders that have happened. In our case, our test store hasn't received any orders recently, so I went ahead and pinned some data and changed it around so that we would have some orders. And what will happen is when this runs, again, every 24 hours, maybe manually, maybe triggered off of another workflow running in N8N as an augment to you get some information and then you need to do this next. It's really, again, like Rich said, the possibilities are endless. And it sends out an email. And so that email actually just looks like this. This is customized with a code node and can be modified with ChatGPT. And that's how I always do this. You always just take your code, put it in ChatGPT and say, give me an N8N code node that does this. When it doesn't behave like you want, you repeat, rinse and repeat, and you'll get the process. You'll eventually get it down. And I say that takes care of like 90% of the stuff. So this is your daily order report. Just lets you know view orders, fulfillment status, pricing, and order date, all customizable based on just that one Streamline Connector endpoint and without creating any kind of Shopify custom app, not getting any kind of access permissions or anything. You just grab the trial, download the template, it's customized to your shop ID, you've got your order info. So the next thing that we would want to move into, as we mentioned, you can send stuff to Slack. So like, what if we wanted to get away from orders because it's a very simple kind of endpoint and we want to move into something a little more complex like stock? You guys who have Shopify stores here, do you guys deal with stock issues at all? Guillaume, like how do you manage your stock to keep stuff in stock and to know when to order and the lead time? Is that a headache?
Yeah, exactly. It's always a problem because I have three warehouse and one warehouse in China, so it's kind of complicated sometimes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. So some of them have maybe a 30-day lead time, 45-day lead time, different costs, different suppliers, and they have different methods of communicating. I'm sure some of them want to use WhatsApp. Some of them want to use Google, Gmail, and stuff. So to handle all of that, you can also do stock functions. So we have actually just today, I believe, we pushed an update to update your stock inside of your store, which means that you can take some info from Google Sheets. Let's say your supplier says how many they have on hand, and you want to update that just directly. If they've got 10, then we can sell 10. Then every time you get that email from your supplier, you tie it into N8N, make it use Streamline to update your stock. You never have it to worry about keeping on track on top of those anymore. But as a more simple example of one that you could just have run maybe every day, we're going to go ahead and grab, and it's the same process. You go to your shop, your store. All of the templates we have, we try to put them up here. Of course, we have a lot of them, and so we're getting a secondary sort of repository. And I think the Discord will act like that, Rich. We'll probably have like a pinned post or something there with all
Definitely.
of those. Yeah, but so getting inventory is, again, we always like to start with just the simplest thing. We don't want to say I want inventory for a specific product because I don't know all my product IDs. I just need to know all my inventory. And so we're going to disable that. And I have this not activated, but in this scenario, we have it running every 3 hours. And so every 3 hours, it's going to say, give me all of my inventory. And what these nodes do, so this comes in as one big chunk. Again, it has page. You can specify pages. We can loop over pages with our has next page and has previous page. We have it with a cursor as well for you guys who are familiar with how easy that makes life. So Streamline Connector, and then we split the products out from that. So now we have our product inventory summary. The cool thing is one of the cool things is we have this format LLM ready. And what that does is it outputs from your query a content here that can be fed into your agents. So imagine instead of asking your assistant to go look up the inventory or tell me, hey, what's our stock on this or something, you just type into your AI assistant, type into ChatGPT, what's our stock for DJI Flip? And it's going to say this back, and then that enables ChatGPT to process it easier. So in our case, we split our products, and then, of course, variants from products, and then low stock. So from here, you could also go, Guillaume, for your use case, you could split it off by location ID as well, because I know that's important. And then you can go from there, kind of branch off. But in our case, we have our one location. And so this lets us know, if our inventory quantity is less than 10, then we need to send that email and get it going, or send that Slack in this case. And so what it does is formats a Slack message, and of course, the Slack needs a specific format. It doesn't just go in as a text, but that's why we have this as a template that you can download and you can just connect to your Slack and get it rolling. Yeah, this one's not publicly available yet. But
just to interject, Tanya from Divine K9, thank you so much for joining. I don't mean to put you on the spot. But would you just tell us a bit about your workflow? Like, it could be high level, like, hey, I get a email from a supplier which provides us with a Google spreadsheet. I have to look. I'd love to just know a bit more about your workflow.
Hi, am I on mute still or no?
No, I can hear you.
Great, I figured that part out. Hey, so I would say, so my Shopify has been like neglected for the last 2.5 years. I've been focused more on wholesale and global distribution. And I am now taking a very, very strategic and intentional approach to the business where I'm scaling back on wholesale and distribution and focusing on D2C. So I am a newbie in this space. So I don't have much to offer in terms of like historical.
No,
that's fine though. Yeah,
that's fine. From a wholesale perspective, what does your workflow look like? How?
I don't manage it on Shopify. It's just like I have a logistics person who helps me, and it's like very manual, where like the emails come through their portal or emails, and then I flow it like manually into my warehouse and fulfillment center. And then we just it's like dinosaurs level, like Google Sheets and emails. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Do they come into a special email from their side, or is it something that's just like Gmail or whatever? It's just their email.
It's like their company email to my company email. And everyone has a different format. So it's just like managing different types of communication and documents and just, going nuts in the meantime. So.
Yeah. I hear that all the time. Totally familiar with that.
Yeah. So I'm going to the Dominican Republic on Sunday for 72 hours to just like reset my thinking and like hash out a D2C strategy that makes sense. And then I'll be plowing through all of this. So I'm kind of here to like, this is what my near future holds,
Yes. Yeah. It's exciting. You're gonna love it for sure. Guys, I'm sorry, really quick, but I want to just demo this, just lay this out really quick because I think Tanya will love it. To that point, Tanya, I actually just built this for a client of mine, and it's a similar, but it extracts invoice information. So this reads their email, checks if we've seen it, loops over them. It uses AI to extract the PDF, and then it processes that invoice and sends it to the appropriate parties. And this happens every 10 minutes, all day, every day. And it never asks for a raise or a day off. That's why we're here with N8, and that's why we love this stuff. But
you say that now.
Yeah. So this is like a multi-tiered, and for the people who are joining for like the Shopify Streamline Connector, where we can just grab a template, like these things are kind of way past that. But this uses sub workflows and main workflows and AI to download files and process them out of the email. So it's exactly like that. And in your use case, you would just have them forward it to a specific email, and we have the bot take it from there. Cool. Everything gets done that way. Yeah. So super cool. So back to our stuff here with Streamline. We were talking about like low stock alerts, and this was right before you joined. So going back, we have templates. We have templates on Streamline Connector. So you get a Streamline Connector. We have a 15-day trial, and we're always adding templates to it. But for now, we're working on this product inventory check, and you can just download the template, and it's already filled out with your shop ID and everything you need to get started. And we went off of that one. We're customizing that to give us inventory split out by products and variants. We can go off of locations here as well, and depending on how granular you need it. And then after that, it sends you a Slack message and lets you know what your variants are, what your stock level is, and everything, which I'm trying to pop up over here so that you guys can see it.
Another great use case I was speaking with the brand about is they want to do inventory forecasting based on volume of sales across 30 days, 7 days, and 15 days. And they want the whole system, NNN, to not only say to the merchant, is, hey, you need to order products based on how sales are going over the last 30 days, 7 days. You should probably make an order right now. And they want to take it one step further of knowing, hey, we know there's a lead time of 45 days, so we should probably order it at this point of time. And then they want to take it even further. They want the actual system to email the go ahead and make a purchase order.
Yeah.
So they don't even want to be in the loop at all. You can actually build all of that out in N8N, where it'll just take care of, it'll do the inventory forecasting and the purchase order.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you wanted to have a human in the loop, that's totally possible as
Yeah.
well. It's very easy just to, for example, native within the Slack, there is to send a message and wait for a reply. So it can actually, the workflow itself will stop and wait for someone to message back and say, yeah, that's okay. Let's do that purchase order, because it is good to ease into these AI things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
So
a
that's
human?
like, I'm sorry.
What's a human?
Oh, that took me a second. Took me a second. Yeah, no, it's one of those outdated things, like those error-prone kind of things we're trying to replace.
So it's pretty cool. So you could have a bot running on your Slack, and it'd be like, your message would go to Slack and say, hey, should we make a purchase order based on the low stock quantity? And you can just reply that yes or no, and it'll fire up an email to the purchase order.
Correct. Yeah, we actually have a Slack bot running in our organization that we use to manage the templates, and I just I message it and I ask it for a template sync. We've got one that does the inventory as well, so I just like you would add a teammate in Slack, the @ symbol template bot or whatever the bot's name is, and then you just give it some commands. So with Slack bots, you can set up / commands and stuff too, but that can, with N8N and Streamline Connector, that all ties back into your Shopify store. So it's like you're taking your Shopify store that's this walled garden and you're opening it up to the world, so that you can tie any other app into it. Because in N8N, it's you either download the node when we get that approved, or you can just use this here, and this is your API key or shop ID. So that's how you authenticate, with full instructions in here, either from an outside app if you're a coder. So you can definitely put this directly into your marketplace apps and use Streamline Connector to enable your apps to connect to your customers' stores, if that makes sense. And I think I could see that as a really sick use case.
All right, guys, before we move on, does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, lots of info. So I think I'd like to demo the AI functionality, so like AI recommendations.
Okay.
And so again, we've got our template here, and it's very easy to download all of these. And this is product recommendations. So this is going to let you feed in a plain text request and then receive your product recommendations off of that, based on your store. So they all come like really pretty like this and tell you what to do here. In our case, I'm going to use this one. Here's our search query. So again, shop ID gets filled out as long as you download it through your dashboard. Without that, we have no way to give you that shop ID. But you can download the templates elsewhere. So search query, let's just say shirt. Let's see if I have any shirts in the store. We do. Mandarin collar formal shirt and Cartson Gab shirt. So we'll let this run, and we split the products out because it all comes in one block. And then we can see here, these are your product URLs and your product titles. So
what's the business use case for that?
Great question. The business use case for this could tie into an order where somebody makes an order on your store. You use Streamline Connector to capture that order and send them an email, but you add another step with this node where you say, hey, you ordered a shirt, so you might like this shirt, or you ordered a button-up navy shirt, so you might like the Hempel shirt in white. It enables you to make AI-powered product recommendations without even using an AI node inside of N8N. We just have it built directly into the app. So it's really cool to upsell people, downsell, cross-sell. Black Friday's coming up. That could be really great to, when someone orders anything on your store, sell them something else based on the AI product recommendations.
Awesome. Thanks, Kris.
Yeah, great questions. Yeah, so I think I'd like to hand it back over to you for a sec, Rich, and see if you have anything you want to share with the community about kind of
Yeah,
our mission, what we're doing here.
definitely. So we're creating weekly workshops. Every week we're going to be doing automation workshops, helping brands of all sizes, whether you're a solo founder or you're a lean team. I know the biggest bottlenecks are, I don't want to say humans, but just juggling everything that you have to do, whether it's handling supplier emails, handling Google spreadsheets, updating inventory. There are tools out there where we can optimize and automate a lot of the processes within the business. So yeah, every week we're going to run different workshops. This week is going to be about inventory. Next week, one we do next week is going to be about how to handle return processes. And I'll send out a big 4-week plan, and we'll run it every year as well. So every quarter we're going to be running 4-week plans and just focusing on the community. What are the pain points you're having? And then we'll create plans around that. But we just want to educate all the brands out there on what's possible with AI and automation.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm going. Does anybody have any questions before we move forward, or does anyone have anything, any kind of use cases you'd love to share with us, like what you guys are doing in your business with Shopify, what your biggest bottlenecks are, because that's going to give us more ideas to improve the app. And we're always taking community feedback. We're always building templates off of what people actually use. Because me personally, I get excited about building templates, and I'd love to just build something and make a video. So share your ideas with us. You might see it on YouTube or something.
Jonathan, I see you raised your hand. Do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, so this is great, getting a lot of great information. What's kind of the standard business that you usually, see using Streamline Connector? Is it, you mentioned, solo business owners or small, but, in terms of like product sizes, is it like a couple hundred products, thousands, just trying to get an idea around that.
Yeah, certainly. So at Streamline Connector, we feed up to 3,000 products. So we can handle up to that. We are speaking to clients who do want a bigger library. So there's an opportunity for us to expand it there. It's not so much about revenue. Well, it's not so much about revenue, I'm saying, because I was speaking to a bikini company doing 50 million, and they said, hey, we have the same problems as solo founders. Like, we have to do the same things. We want to scale, but we don't add headcount. So this can work for everything. If you're dealing with suppliers, vendors, there's no reason why that process shouldn't be automated, no matter what size you're at. Does that answer the question, Jonathan?
Kind of. I guess I'm trying to find a throughput, like a max throughput that you've like found for your pipe. I guess that's kind of what I'm trying to find.
Got it. What's your product size? Tell me a bit about your.
Yeah, so I'm a employee at christianbook.com. We have a lot of products. We have 530,000 products. We run our own proprietary warehouse, proprietary kind of everything. So we're looking at making a few changes internally, and I'm exploring changes to our infrastructure right now. So so that's that.
Yeah.
With going, I've done a few of these across the board, and the pipe is what usually breaks for me. We have cutoff times. We run our own, 120,000 square foot warehouse type deal. So just kind of give a little bit more background there. We also sync with VoiceFlow as well to run our chatbot. So, this is why I was like, take a look at Streamline and see, but I'm trying to find where that pipe breaks.
Of course.
We have fairly high SLAs that we need to meet and whatnot. So,
okay. Well, let's have a conversation after the call, Jonathan. I'd love to see what we could do.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Yeah,
because we could definitely look at the back end and everything, and like give you a really solid answer on what we expect our throughput could handle, and probably come up with a use case, a custom case for you. Appreciate you bringing it up. Thank you. It's great info. Olivia, how do I do that? Do I just hit open queue?
Yeah.
Thanks.
I think my question is more about some of the pricing, and like, so we're working with clients, but we're an agency. So a lot of times we're just trying to vet what option, like
Mhm.
platforms might work for them. And like, we're kind of maybe comparing to like a Zapier or something, or like, do we need to build an app?
Mhm.
But we don't want to like just keep N8N as a, you know, an expense on our side just to be able to show a client like what they might want to do and test it like on a dev store or something. So yeah, I'm just wondering if you guys have considered developer accounts or anything like that, where, you know, they're basically it's like a sales funnel. They're usually free, and they're used to kind of vet the process. Is this viable? And then if it would be, then great, you like get on a plan for a production
Public.
instance.
Like public sandbox accounts. Yeah, I love that idea. We'll talk to the dev. I'm gonna message him now, and we'll see what he
That's a good idea.
see what he says about it, because
That would
we
really
have
help
internal
us,
ones.
like, get more context of like, all right, what can we do? What could we use this for? We've always got, like, everybody's trying to connect different apps that don't have apps and integrations with
Yeah.
Shopify. So it's like, it feels like it could be useful, but
Totally.
without having it, without getting past that trial, and like, it's just not something we want to keep on our website.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. No, we understand for sure. The cool thing is the trial is unlimited. Fair use limits, obviously, it's unlimited, but so you can get it and get a dev Shopify store and install the trial on the dev Shopify store and have it for 15 days and show your clients that way. And N8N also isn't explicitly required, so you can, if you guys have a method, you just want to do a post request, or you guys want to bake it into something you already do with. I know if you're using Retool or other things, you can make those as like external requests. That will work as well. And then just a tip on the N8N side, I don't know if you guys have looked into self-hosting as an option, but when you self-host, your costs can be drastically lower if you choose the right plan and you have the right infrastructure. If you put it on something like Railway and you let your memory skyrocket, it's going to be much more than the $30 a month. But the N8N at $30 a month, they just removed their usage limits too. So I think you can stick with the lower plan, is what I often do, and have multiple kind of client workflows on there. So there's some info for you if you're interested, from the N8N nerd. So, all right. Great stuff, guys. Yeah, go ahead.
Olivia, does that answer your question, or?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we wouldn't go deeper in self-host when we're just trying to figure out if we need it or not, or if our clients want to use it. So, I mean, we've definitely had a case where we like tried it out for a client, and then the client was also like, I don't want to spend that money.
Like for N8N?
Yeah, because like what their use case would be hitting too many, like it would end up being really expensive because of all the requests that they were getting. So
okay. It might have been when I appreciate it. They've recently changed their stuff. So the $30 plan, you actually get unlimited executions, unlimited workflows. And
I'm looking at their pricing. There's no $30 plan, and the $20 is 2,500 executions. 50 is 10,000. Then it goes up to 667 for 40,000. So it's like,
that's they
pretty
did
limited.
add that recently. Yeah, and so those are you would actually. So those are workflow runs too within N8N. That's a whole workflow run. So that's like you could have 500 nodes on the end of that realistically.
Sure.
Yeah, and so that helps a little. It's not like Make and Zapier where it's per node that runs. And then testing doesn't count, and sub workflows don't count, and internal workflow calls and things like that don't count. So it is really like, it seems like it's limited, but I think a lot of people can get by with that 2.5K. Like I've had a lot of people with a lot of executions, and that 2.5K has been more than enough for many people. But you could go into self-hosting at that point. I understand you weren't looking to, but just for anyone who's listening, when you hit those limits on N8N, you're looking at like $20 a month. Heroku, for example, I self-host N8N on Heroku, and my total is, I have multiple apps, but the total for N8N is $12 a month on Heroku. It's just really cheap, and that actually, the only limit you get there is your memory limits. So then you run into a unique issue. This has 512 megabytes of memory for the whole thing, and if a workflow hits that using like heavy images or it runs a lot of times, like the whole thing will crash, and you don't get that flexibility. So but I guess that goes back to the cool thing about N8N is it's super flexible. Whether you're self-hosting, cloud hosting, anything, yeah, it's great. So we really appreciate all the input though, and we are talking to the developer right now. Olivia, Rich, you'll reach out to her, right?
Yeah,
About
I
and
will,
let her know. Follow up on that.
I will.
We'll have an answer for you. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay, so I think we're for 1 hour, right? 1 hour
Yeah.
show? All right.
Yeah. But yeah, if we wrapped up, we could open it up for Q&A if everyone. Yeah.
I think
you got one
I
more
think
thing to
yeah, I got a cool little thing that I just whipped up. So I am trying to, and this is more, I guess this is probably less of a business use case, maybe more of an automation use case. Right now, I don't know what's in the store because I'm just building automations. I don't know all my products like at all. So I have no idea if I wanted to build you guys a stock sync automation, I cannot build that and test that without knowing and having that data set of access to all of our stuff. So my first goal is get all of our inventory for all of our products. I need to know all of our products. I could have done that with the get products endpoint probably, but I chose specifically the get inventory endpoint. And this is a demo of the pagination. So right now, this is a simple way for me to send out 5 requests. I just wanted it to blast out 5 things. So it runs 5 times, so it doesn't accidentally run 500 times. We are setting our run count here. So this is another step to prevent us from running too much. This is the N8N run index variable. And if that is less than 8, so max 8, then it can run through. And if not, it stops. Because it really is, it's no fun when you hit run once and it runs 50,000 times, the whole server will reset and then you got a whole thing after that. This replace me is just for structure inside of there. So it just makes things more readable, lets you move your lines around wherever you want. Helps with the flexibility. And so the real Streamline Connector part here is get inventory, and we can specify a page. So that's pagination. And the first one is going to be 0, and it's going to go up after that. Right off of that, we're going to split our products. So we're going to split the data because it comes in one big chunk. And then after that, we want to split our variants. So that's, as you guys with Shopify know, you have product level, variant level. The variant is the real, what would you call that? Granular section. Yeah. It's the core of it. And then a simple call over here, I actually just let it map automatically because I don't even really know what I want. And it's a pretty simple data structure. You don't want to use map automatically when it's a complex data structure because you won't get the info you want. And by running that, this is what we got. So sync stock. These would in your store would be more descriptive, hopefully not default title and things like that. But here we have our inventory quantity, our fulfillment service, all this information. For me, I mean, Guillaume, do you care about inventory management policy, inventory policy, fulfillment service? Does this have an impact in your actual day-to-day store?
Nope.
Cool. Good. So we have our ID, we have our title, inventory quantity. That's what we need. And so this seems like, all right, well, we have it in a sheet. So what's our use case here? Well, this now becomes our stock central station, our stock updating station, because we can build a workflow that reads off of this and goes back and updates the stock. And so I believe our stock update endpoint is live. I need to pull the HTTP call really quick. Just a second. Rich, can you, would you cover something for me really quick while I look this up, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I just don't want to leave everybody hanging. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem at all. So depending on where you want your products updated, so we can either update it via where on the final node, the Google Sheets. That could either be a Airtable, you could update via Slack. So you could ask for a request, hey, what's the inventory levels on this product? And then you can change it manually through Slack, Microsoft Teams, email, text message. So just there's a lot of flexibility there. So you don't have to always be jumping into like your Celigo or your NetSuite or Shopify. You can update it wherever is most convenient for you.
Definitely. So, and this lets you, the beauty of Streamline Connector is connecting to Shopify. The beauty of N8N is connecting to the rest of the world. And when you put them together, I mean, it's so limitless. It's mind blowing. None of us could ever sit down and list out all the possibilities. But just a couple, if you tie it into WhatsApp, your team that's using WhatsApp can tell you we need to update this stock. You tie it into an AI agent, your team can request what is our stock on this without ever going anywhere. You tie it into Twilio or VoiceFlow or BotPress, and they can call, somebody when somebody's asking, can I order this? Then it can live check your stock count without actually, erroring out or anything like that. So it's just super cool use cases. So what I'm trying to do here, you guys are getting to see like a live workflow build. I am going to read the rows from this sheet, attempt to read the rows from the sheet, and we're going to update the stock. So what I'm going to do though is we're just going to make this a lot simpler, and because we really don't need to have all of this in here. These, okay. So we have our 6 products with their ID. We have different inventory quantity, and this is the inventory quantity that I just pulled right now. So that's our live inventory. And when we read the rows from the sheet, we got our 5 items. And so what I'm going to do is you could take it a couple of ways from here. So where I could go from here is say, let's read from the sheet and then check back against the store and say, if the number on the sheet is different than the number on the store, then we can proceed. If you wanted to have some kind of built-in protections, but just for our demo here, we're just going to loop over these items and we're going to call back to our store and say, update the stock in the store to be whatever the stock was on the sheet. And then to test it, we can hook back our other workflow and have it output again. So instead of saying get inventory, I believe this is going to be a post, and it'll be like this. So we have some info to fill out here. We're going to send our query parameters. And what I need to do is get some of this info here. So we have inventory update format. The first query parameter, you do not need shop ID because it should be auto filled out, but it's not here. Shop ID, we're going to grab that from this one. Oh yeah, I used my credential. We have a video, or we will soon, about how to set this up as a credential, because honestly, if you use N8N, if you spent any time using N8N, you're probably cringing that I'm putting this in just a query parameter and I'm not putting my API keys in an actual query auth. But it is proper protocol to put it in the query auth. For visibility, we're doing it like this. So the way this works is you say your variant ID, and in this case, we're going to also put this here, and then also new stock level. All right, so for our example, I'm going to set all of our stock levels to 0. We're going to cut this variant ID here, and I believe I sent that in, and clear that out of there. So see, all the stuff that I'm doing with all of this is what you would have to do if you got Streamline Connector and didn't use the templates. That's why we've let you, on every endpoint, we give you some templates, because it's not a Streamline Connector thing. It's a real life thing, is you have to set up your query parameters and everything. We like to make it as easy as possible. So I'm going to get that variant ID, method not allowed. Let's see. Did he tell me this is an endpoint I just added? It might be a patch. Actually did not ask him what kind it should be. Okay, well, this is live, so I'll have to check with the developer. This is what happens when you do things live. You don't rehearse them, but we are real people building real workflows, and when you hit errors like this, you just you keep it rolling. That's the beauty of it. Anyone who wants to learn how to use N8N or learn how to use it better, this is what happens sometimes. So I'm going to go check my documentation and see that everything's okay. But that's how you would do it, is you would just read from the sheet and then send it in. So we'll just use our imaginations that it updated. And then the next time it updates, we can pull it back and put it here. And really what that enables is, you can let anybody else, maybe your team, maybe an AI bot, maybe a contractor, manage the inventory and you can do it through automated methods. Like for example, Guillaume, when your suppliers update you with an email, you can use a system just like that one I built, where it reads from your email, processes with OpenAI, and then updates those stock in the sheet or directly calls your store.
Awesome.
So, yeah, we got about 10 minutes left. I'll research
Yeah.
that error. But anybody else have any questions or anything? Anything we should cover next week?
All right. No questions. Well, I hope that was fruitful for everybody. We'll send out a recording after the call. We also have some starter templates if anyone wants to give it a crack. And yeah, if you need any help at all with setting up your own N8N flow, we're here to help. This is what we do all day, every day for clients. Bring your imaginations, bring your current workflows, and we'd love to work on building out an N8N flow with you.
Yeah, we would love that. Definitely.
Yeah.
That'd be great if you can come, if you bring a workflow here and you say, like, especially if it's not working or something, and we can help you kind of troubleshoot. And it might feel like it's a bit N8N heavy, but it's like N8N is kind of the car, and Streamline Connector is the gas, and you got to have the gas to go anywhere you need. But the car is what does the legwork and pulls it through for you. So good stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks everybody for showing up and sticking around. Thanks for communicating and participating. It really, you helped enrich the experience. It was great.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye,
Talk
guys.
later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.